In this video, I'm just going to create a quick intro to Colorida Motion FX. It's going to be very simple, and you can easily follow along if you download the demo as well. I'm going to work off one of the demo sample scenes that come with the plugin. So this is it. It's very simple. You've got some text. It's bouncing up and down. It disappears to reveal more text. So let's get started. Oh, the first thing you need to do though, this is for people unfamiliar with this type of workflow. I've got some words. I got, some words in 2 layers. So you need to create parts from the layers. What parts are simply a way for Lightwave to group polygons. So let's say I want to separate each of these letters into individual groups. All I have to do is go to polygon mode, select the polygons I want, go under detail and create part. And you just need to give the part a unique name. And you're done. Then just save out your file. And you can just start up Lightwave. And load the object. So, let's say load scene. And, load object, not load scene. So, I saved it as that. So, there's two, pretty much, you can see the world is inside the other text. So, first thing we're going to do is add these 2 pieces. Actually, I'm just going to add one so it's clear to see. So I'm going to select the deep effects, go to wireframe to make it clear, and go to, open Colorida and say add parts. Need to add the parts. Nothing will happen if you press play at the moment because there's nothing else in the scene. To create the disappearing effect, we're going to use a transform effector. So just go ahead and add that. By default, the transform effector is in translate mode. So, but what we're going to do is switch it to scale and drop the fall off to 1. And second, fall off to 1. Okay, so let me just explain the value. So for the scaling part, what Colorida does is simply adds this value to the default value of the scale. So if we go to scale, it's 1, so it's going to be the scale of 2. So if I press play, you're going to see the letters expand. So, but what we want to do here is just start with 0. 0 will mean nothing there's no contribution to the scaling. So press play. So for effectors, you just need to press play to see the effect. Okay, so, and the second thing I'm going to do is scale it. I want the effect, since effectors are proximity based, so it depends on the location of the effector for it to affect the objects in the Colorida scene. So I'm just going to scale it up to contain all the text. So to something like 1.9 should be enough. Yeah, about 1.98 should be good enough. So go back, make sure it's at frame 0. Then what I'm going to do is create an envelope. So we're going to go to frame 30. Just going to add a value there. And at frame 30, nothing's going to change. So for the first 30 frames, what we want to do is just stay the same. Then at frame 40, that's when we want the text to start disappearing. So I'll go ahead and just add another value there. So at frame 40, by the time it reaches to frame 40, it should be at -1, which should make the scaling 0. So just select the keys and make them linear. Of course, you can do ease in effects, ease out effects if you're familiar with the graph editor. Nothing stops you from doing that. That's it. So we can see what that looks like right now. So if I just go to frame 1 and press 0, it's going to disappear. Of course, it looks funny now. 1 second, let me just apply it to the other channels. So just copy and paste those, and I can close that. So go to frame 0 and we disappear. So next thing we're going to do, since we're going to add another effector to the scene, is click on the parts and use filters. Filters allow you to isolate which effectors or modifiers you want to affect the parts or clone as later. If you can watch that in another video, that will be explained. So I'm just going to say add effector and transform. It's only effector, so just click that and we've got our effector. It's right here, transform effector. So nothing's changed. It's just going to be the same animation there. So so what we're going to do now is add another effector. So it's going to do the opposite for the world text. So transform, add that. So what we need is scale, set the fall off to 1 and scale it up to around 1.98 in that neighborhood. Okay, then we're gonna go to envelope. So we want the opposite effect. So the text is gonna be invisible in the beginning. So wait, let me just cancel that. So just to make this simple, I'm just gonna add -1 as the default value for this, which means the text will be invisible like that. Then we'll create an envelope. So at frame 40 is when the other text disappears completely. So what we're going to do is create a key there. So nothing's going to change until frame 40. Then at frame 50, the text should be fully revealed. So we're going to add another key there, like that, and it should just be 0. And of course, just select the keys and make them make them linear like that. Like that. So you can close. Oh, and don't forget just to copy and paste it to the other channels. But something funny is going to happen if we press play right now. Oh, actually, sorry, I forgot to add the world to the scene. So just select world and do add parts, but it's going to look funny. 1 second. If I press play, you see it looks inverted. That's simply because there's 2 effectors affecting the text. So remember, you need filters to select which effector we want to affect the parts. So we just say add effector and transform effector 2 to get the effect we want. So go to frame 1, just do that, and bam, bam, we've got what we wanted. Now we're going to add some motion to the scene. That's pretty simple. We're going to add a modifier. Modifiers affect everything in the scene. They're not location based. So we're going to add an Oscillate Modifier. As you can see, I'm just zoom out. By default, the oscillator looks crazy. It's going to do something crazy like that. But anyway, we're going to go through the values for this. So what we want is to lower the frequency. In other words, how fast, the amplitude, and the height of the wave. If you can imagine a sine wave, if you can remember math class, for example. So we're just going to put in a low value there, around 4, which should be good. Then we'll see that the text is looking, yeah, so okay, the waves are bigger now, the frequency is less. Okay, so, but it's still very fast and very high. So amplitude is just the height of the wave. So we're gonna drop this to 0.5. So we've got beginning, and we've got something like that goes in. So actually, right now we've got something that looks kind of cool already. So I'm just go to the beginning, zooms out, zooms in, but it's very fast. I don't like the oscillation like that. So I'm going to slow it down. 2.5 for the speed. Okay, like that. Just press play to get a nice smooth motion. Like that. So we can drop this to around 3 to get something really nice. Of course, you can stretch out these values so that, you know, it gives you a better effect. But like I said, it's just a rough sketch of the scene, one of the sample scenes. So you can actually add more effects to this to make it look more interesting. I'll just add a hover effect, you know, to get rid of the pattern, the oscillating pattern. So if we press play, now the text is also hovering around, and bam, it's doing its thing right there. Anyway, so that's the basics of using parts in Colorida Motion FX. Hope you enjoyed the video, and see you next time.